Welcome to Spark Homeschool Parent and this Facebook Live today. I am speaking particularly to those who are sitting on the fence still. I notice that a lot of people who are joining this group haven't quite committed to educating their children at home yet and are thinking of starting in the future. Maybe this school year coming up, maybe just generally in the future. It's you that I'm talking to, but also if you have made the first step, or maybe you've been educating your children at home for a while now, you're going to really enjoy this episode also because we're going to be looking at some of the research. What does the research say about educating our children at home and the successes, the benefits? But we're sticking to the numbers. So some of you need this before you make the first step. So, are you thinking of educating your children at home, but you're afraid to make that first step? You haven't actually committed yet. Are you the parent who is weighing the pros, the cons, and you just need the facts? You're going to enjoy today's Facebook Live. I'm talking about making a commitment to educate at home. What does the research say? My name is Diana Rolston, and I want to welcome you to Spark Homeschool Parent. Each week, we openly discuss some of the fears, some of the doubts, some of the questions about educating our children at home. Today, this is for you if you're not sure if the pros outweigh the cons, the current school situation that your children are in could be doing an okay job, but you have that idea of homeschooling in your mind, and you're just not sure yet. The pros haven't quite tipped the cons yet. This is specifically for you if you are one of those people who just need the facts. It's great that a lot of us that have been educating our children at home tell you the benefits, but some of you, I know I'm the same. Sometimes I just need to know what the research says. You might need it for yourself, or for those of you who have chosen to bring your children home to educate them at home. Maybe you have people around you who are doubting your decision to do that. Maybe they need the facts. Maybe that's why you want to listen in so that you can accumulate some information to present to those naysayers or those people that are doubting around you. There are so many benefits to educating our children at home. What are you waiting for? I know it can feel scary. I know that. We all had to make that first step. But you may feel alone. I want to let you know that you're not alone. And we're going to be looking at some of the statistics that confirm that you absolutely are not alone in this decision. But when you hear some of the statistics, you'll be convinced that educating your children at home may be the best decision for your children, for you, for your family. So let's take a look. I put together a slideshow for today. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. When we're talking about homeschooling, we are talking about parent-led, home-based education. You may hear some people say that. Often I refer to it as home education. Homeschooling, I think of schooling at home, and educating our children at home is so much more than that. But it is a widely accepted term. So when we say homeschooling, we mean parent-led, home-based education, or home education, or educating your children at home, all of those things. I'm going to be looking at some research. It says homeschooling is an age-old traditional educational practice that a decade ago felt like cutting edge or alternative. When I started educating my children at home, there weren't a lot. Still kind of, people thought it was a little alternative, a little out there. but it's now bordering on mainstream. Mainstream, from a lot of the research that we're doing or that I'm referring to, is in the United States, but it may be the fastest growing form of education in the United States and in many other nations. A lot of the research is done in the United States, but I know in Canada here, it is absolutely very fast growing. The research also says that educating children at home is fast growing in Australia. I know we have some viewers in Australia. France, Hungary, Japan, Kenya, Russia, Mexico, South Korea, Thailand, and the UK, it's growing also. Sorry, I'm going to change that. Demographically wide variety of people homeschool. There are atheist Christians. A lot of people have this idea that it's only Christians that homeschool. Christians do make up a great percentage of those, but we also have atheists, Mormons, and all political supporting parties. We got conservatives and libertarians and liberals. And the research also shows that there's low, middle, and high income families, Black, Hispanic, and white, parents with PhDs, parents with high school diplomas, parents who haven't graduated from high school. There's a lot of information out there. These next few stats that I'm referring to or quoting are from Dr. Brian D. Ray, and he works with National Home Education Research Institute. So if you're looking for more statistics about educating children at home, take a look at his research facts on homeschooling. And these were from March 2022, so pretty up to date. There are about 3.7 million homeschool students in 2020 to the 2021 school year in grades kindergarten to grade 12 in the United States. That is roughly 6 to 7% of all school-age children, but it grew dramatically, as we all know, in the 2019-2020 school year to the more recent school years. So there are many more families educating their children at home, but back in 2020, there were 3.7 million in the United States. That's a big chunk of children, and lots and lots of families in Canada and other parts of the world also. Now, this is some information that you may have heard, you probably hope for, but the home educated typically score 15 to 30 percentile points above public school students on standardized academic achievement tests. So the public school average would be at the 50th percentile, and scores range from 1 to 99, but you'll see that those that are educated at home typically score higher. So academically, students who do their education, parent-led home education, typically score better than those in public school. Homeschool students score above average on achievement tests, regardless of their parents' level of formal education or their family's household income. Whether homeschool parents were ever certified teachers is not related to their children's academic achievement. That is one myth. You do not have to be formally trained as an educator, as a teacher, to successfully educate your children at home. And the statistics show that it doesn't matter if you are a certified teacher or not. The degree of state control and regulation of homeschooling is not related to academic achievement. In Canada here, every province, and I assume also every state in the United States, have different regulations for educating our children at home. And some provinces are very strict. They have strict regulations. Here in Ontario, we don't. But even that, regardless of that, children score higher on achievement tests. Home educated students typically score above average on SAT, ACT tests that colleges, universities consider for admission. So if you are considering that you want your children to have the opportunity to go to post-secondary education, homeschooling is a legit and very great option for them. There are a few fun facts about homeschoolers. Homeschoolers have higher post-secondary calculus grades. Good to know. They're more likely to obtain managerial or professional designations. Interesting. And they're more likely than any other group to complete a doctorate. Fascinating. That information is from the Fraser Institute. Homeschooling in Canada, the current picture, and that was from 2015. Here's a graph. I'm not sure if you can get a good look at that. This shows civic participation, and you can see that those that are homeschooled, and this is homeschooled adults. So this is after the education process at home, and as our children go into adulthood, they have found that more as a percentage, you can see on the left-hand column indicates frequency of participation in group activities, and the right-hand column is the population. So of a population of 48% of, you could see that 69% of those participate at least once a week. But you can see that they participate in politics, sports, cultural, religious, and other, much higher than the general population. So good participants in their community, those that are homeschooled. Gainfully employed after graduation. Home-educated adults are more likely to have income from self-employment and investments. No respondent had ever received Social Security assistance. That's really interesting. That's also a study done by, or research done by Dr. Brian Ray. That was in January 2018. And that is research facts on homeschooling. You can take a look for more information about that. But those that have homeschooled are gainfully employed after graduation. If you are looking for more statistics, let's just remove that. If you're looking for more statistics, you can find that in Canada at HSLDA, that's Homeschool Legal Defense Association.ca. And there is a section there, the proven benefits of homeschooling. You'll find a lot of research there. There's also the Canadian Centre for Home Education, CCHE.ca, if you're in Canada. There is piles of research done. If you're looking for more facts, more numbers, that you need to tip that scale about the pros of educating at home, or if you want to have something on paper to show those that are just questioning your choice to educate your children at home, take a look at those. I'm really interested to hear what's the most compelling statistic for you. What did you find that you're like, wow, I never knew that? And that's the reason I want to educate my children at home. And for those of you that have chosen to educate at home, what was it Is it any of these statistics that have helped you make that decision? I'd love to hear from you also. I just want to thank you for listening in and joining me at Spark Homeschool Parent. My commitment is to provide an encouraging and non-judgmental community where we can share our questions and our doubts and our fears about homeschooling. And I hope today has cleared up some of those fears, some of those doubts, some of those questions by strictly looking at the research. If you're looking for a community of like-minded parents who believe that educating their children at home is the best choice for their family, then join us. If you haven't already, in the Facebook group, it's called Spark Homeschool Parent. Again, I'm Diana Rolston. And also remember to like and subscribe. And remember that as a homeschooler, we can help our children find their spark that ignites learning. Thanks for